ready to go here. And we're going to show you a few different ideas. Some to do with a little bit of what we would refer to as, what can we call it? Repurposing, I guess. So I've got different things ready to go. Just looking here, this is not coming up on my telephone at the moment, so I'll try and go back in. But yeah, basically we'll be looking through a few different things, different ideas that we use to create different projects, different themes, all sorts of different things. Just a different spoon that we designed. Yeah, it was. We were looking. I'll explain it to you after that one. Not with the initials in. Right. So what we've got. We're looking first of all at our snowman. So that's one thing that we're looking at. And we've got letters and things like that to cut out as well. Why is this live stream not coming up? Ah, there we are. We're on. Let's have a look. Turn it round. Right, so what we've got. Yeah, everything's working as normal. So let's get on to it. The wood burning warrior. Hello there. Hope all is well. Yeah, long time no see. Always good to hear from you. Hope you're keeping busy. Hope all is well with you. Yeah, so we're going to do a little bit of scroll sawing. Who else have we got there? Super Noob. Hello, Di. Carving a snowman today. Yeah, we are. Well, what we've done, just to show you, we've got 3 layers stacked together. I'm going to cut the outline. I'm also going to show you some work on these letters, how we use these. We've got a simple little key ring. What it is, I got loads of little projects that are built up over the last month or so. I got them all lined up here on the scroll saw, and I haven't actually got round to cut them all out. I've actually got too many projects around here, so I'm going to move some over there. I've also got the little robin. Excuse my head, going back and forth. Oh, I've been really sick. Oh dear. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Doing better every day. Oh well, I hope all goes well, and I hope it goes well with the doctor. Yeah, I hope it all improves for you. But thank you for joining us, and always good to hear from you, and good to know and see what you're up to. Yeah, so we got some robins, we got all sorts of different projects, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to start cutting out. Let's demonstrate. What I would dub today is repurposing things and the day job. We'll call it, oops, seconds out. I've got a bit of organising I'm doing as I'm going along. So yeah, let's share with you what we do for a day job and how we repurpose a few things to make different themes. So, let's get going. Any thoughts, any comments, anything you want to share as we go along is always very much appreciated. Right, hello John as well. Thank you all for joining us. Right, so what we've done so far, we've cut out one. Ooh, let's have a look. Can we get these to separate? 2, 3. We have cut out 3 snowmen. We just put that one on the chisel and we show you what we're doing with these. I put all the pieces here ready. So the idea is, oh, where's the nose gone? Ah, there it is. There we are. The idea, brilliant. You got the one there with the CA glue on. Just to give you an idea, hello Gabby as well. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so what we've done before, I got Thomas the woodcarver to make a little bit of dowel. So we push a little bit of dowel in like so. I think it could, there we are, it needs to go a little bit further in. Oh, actually I ought to be careful because I need this one back out. So that's what will happen. It'll get pushed through as a nose. We'll have that piece, here's one that I cut out earlier, and that piece there. So we're just creating a little bit of a, there you go. That'll be our snowman. So here you go on the one side of our sculpture. And then on the other side, a couple of things that we got. We're gonna have a little robin. And then we've also got, where is it? No, you can't see it a second. A Christmas tree somewhere. Here it is. Here we are. So we can have a Christmas tree on the other side. So it's just how we sort of put different ideas together. The reason I can't do that is I've got to sand off all this paper. Also as well then, you can see we've used the black CA glue to create all of our detail. So yeah, just showing you how we use the different items that we make. Put it all together and create some different projects. Right, we put all of that back. So let's go on. We'll cut out the Christmas tree next, then the robin, then we're going to cut out some letters, then we're going to cut out the keyring. Any questions as we go through the process, let us know. That scroll saw as well seems to be cutting quite nicely at the moment, so that's all good. Let's have a little think. Are we going to leave the plate in? No, we're doing pierce work. We're doing pierce work first of all on this one, so we take that plate out for 2 minutes. Makes the pierce work a little bit easier. 3 layers, that's what I find is about the optimum for stack carving. Oh, hello there. Where is Cannock? Oh, have I missed something there? Where is Cannock? Do you know where Cannock is?
It's north of England, I think.
There we are. Thomas the woodcarver says in the north of England.
I think Cannock Chase, isn't it?
Not somewhere where I'm familiar with, but Thomas the woodcarver says in the north of England. Sounds a bit Celtic. That sounds a bit Irish, Scottish, Welsh, but he says in the north of England.
I'm not certain, mine. I'm not.
Let's have a look. Staffordshire. There we are. John Guy says Staffordshire. Other side of the pond then. So we've got the wood-burning warrior in Yorktown, Virginia, and we've got the carver in Virginia. We're in West Wales. We've got Gabby in Romania. So we've got quite a good mix here. All sorts. All good stuff. While I remember as well, I was going to share a little YouTube story with you all. Last Tuesday, after I'd done the live stream on the Monday, I had a little bit of a nasty surprise. I found that YouTube like to do this to me once every year. So thanks for that, YouTube. Yeah, they sent me an email to say we've cancelled. How did they put it? We've cancelled your AdSense account. No, we blocked your AdSense account. So basically, just for you all to know, what happens is you have an AdSense account, and then as they put adverts on our channel and things like that, we get a percentage of the ad revenue. It's not much, works out at around about 60 to 80 pounds in a month. A good month may go up to 100, but you know, it's a little bit of something. We don't, you know, we're not doing YouTube for that sort of thing. We do it because we enjoy sharing what we do. We like to encourage people to have a go themselves. But anyway, it's a nice little thing. It pays for me to have the editing software for the videos, so that's what it sort of comes down to. But yeah, they blocked it. So we started researching it, what had happened and things like this. And it told me that it had been blocked for community violations, traffic breaching rules and all this sort of thing. So yeah, you're in a bit of a panic then, thinking, have we said something on the live stream? Have we done something? I started accusing Thomas the Woodcarver. Have you been on one of your rants? So he was getting the blame. But I was also thinking, well, is it something I've done? Is it something... Anyway, checking all these different things. Yeah, it works out that when they verify you, they use the document. And when I worked it out, it was because the document they used to verify me was my passport, and it would have just expired. So why couldn't YouTube just say, put a new document on there for us to verify that you are still who you say you are?
I was quite disappointed.
So Thomas Woodcarver was quite disappointed because he thought he had basically pushed us to the brink of being cancelled. But no, it hasn't happened. We're still here. We'd have still been here if they hadn't have unblocked our account, because we're going to carry on doing it. We're going to carry on sharing what we do and encouraging everyone to enjoy woodworking. But just to share the experience, that yeah, it's not all champagne and glamour and all the rest of it here at the Lovespoon Workshop. YouTubers beware. Just checking that that's all cut cleanly. Hello there, Marty. Hope all is well. Thomas thought he'd finally struck a nerve. Yeah, absolutely. We thought we'd finally cracked the code. Yeah, no, it was rather a frustrating. Well, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't gonna spend too much time on it, so it ended up where it was Tuesday and Wednesday, in between sort of working before I actually figured it out. And the freakiest thing about it, to be honest with you, the scariest thing about it is I think I had about an hour conversation with Google's AI, which yeah, clever stuff. But you could just tell when you were speaking to it, you just thought, this is something that seems to be programmed. It was either that or the person that I was speaking to was like a robot. So it was either a robot like a person or a person like a robot. I'm not quite sure which way it was. But it's if it is AI, that is clever stuff, because it was just like speaking with a slightly strange person. But yeah, the modern technology, the wonders of, a little bit strange, but I did get it sorted in the end. But speaking with their AI, that is, I don't know, a bit scary in some way. tiny little Christmas trees that I can't unstick. But basically they will go on the other side to the snowman. And now we cut out a few little robins that can go in the middle. Just checking it on the back as well, seeing if everything's okay. Yeah, we're happy with that. A little bit of sanding work needed, but all okay. Let's have a little look. No, we haven't missed anything. Good. Any thoughts, any questions as we go along? That looks quite small on my phone. Is that all okay? Yeah, that is okay. I'll check as well. Does it need to be a little bit lighter? I'll see if it's gone a bit dark in here. No, it's showing that it's okay. It's showing that it's bright enough. Right, so a couple of little robins. We've cut out all 4, and then we go on to the letters, and I'll show you how we use the letters as well. burn a little bit. We need to change the blade. So note to self, change the blade before we start on the letters. Just when it went round there, it was burning. It's that blade is a bit... Yeah, note to self, that blade is a little bit worn now, but we'll tidy up these. Oh, hello there from Arkansas. Cute birdie, thank you very much. Hope all is well, thanks Paul. Yeah, we're just cutting out, so for anybody joining us a bit later, what we've got, let's show you how it's going to look. It's a little bit unseasonal, I know, but here we are, it is what it is. Now, we got a little bit of work on all of this, but we're going to have one there, one there. It's only going to be one tree, that's actually three stuck together. And then the snowman, he'll have his nose there and a top hat, just like so. But I got 3 Christmas trees, 3 snowmen, and I'm going to have 4 robins, all cut out. And it'll just be a little Christmas scene, just like so. Here we are. Something a bit different. Something that we can put to sell in the workshop. I'm just going to carry on and cut out these final two robins. So I'll finish with this one and then we go on to the next one. I've got to tidy up the beak on that one because it's just burnt a little bit. But yeah, any thoughts, any questions, any ideas as we're going along? Give us a shout. And thank you again for joining us. Right, it's blade changing time now. My advice always on that front is when you feel the robin as well. That's the one little part of that design where we are going to have a little bit of carving on it. So we just put a little bit of detail using the hand carving scales. Thomas Woodcarver's back in.
Yeah.
And there we are. Oh, we've got people coming in the shop here behind us. I think there's another door open. Do you want to close it? Because it's going to start blowing around. Right. So what we've got... We're in the middle of a live stream, we are. So we're... you're alright, don't worry. Just got a few people coming in the workshop. So what we're going to do, we're going to carry on. We're cutting out that one there. So we're cutting out a few letters at the same time. Just choosing our blade. There we are. Just choosing the right blade for the job. Just checking. That looks... We're just checking that there's... That one there, I'm not sure, is damaged. No. I think we're going to go for that blade there. So we pick the blade, we change it over, and we cut those letters out and then show you... Oops. I dropped one of my blades on the floor. Let's have a look. Right. Dropped it on the floor again. I'm not sure where that's gone. I'll have to find that later. So let's have a bit of a look. Because it's a reverse tooth, you've got to make sure you get that blade in the right way around. So with those 6 teeth at the bottom, just like so. Feed the blade back in. I'll do, as always, any pierce work that needs doing, we'll cut that out first. So the only one is on the letter D. So we'll cut that out. So I'll start working my way through now from the top, cutting out each letter, and then show you how we use them for making different things at the workshop. comes out of here. Okay, so just to show you what we then do with these. There you go. So you get a little key ring, just like so. Which way down does that go? Maybe like that. There you go. And we stick it on the centre, and you've got a simple little personalised key ring. So that's all we do with the letters. You can see, quick to make. A nice little flat key ring for them. Stick them down, and a simple little item that we, be honest with you, one of our best sellers here in our family workshop. Right, we're going on to our next little project, which is this one here, a little ash leaf, making that from a piece of ash. So we will do.
Yeah.
We're going to work on that. There you are.
Yes.
There we are. What it is, so I know I do the live stream deliberately. We just had some people just came in, but the workshop is closed, to be honest with you. But I think we have as many people when we're closed as when we're open, don't we? Oh, I'm gonna have to move the camera. Yeah. There we are. Let's have a little look. I'll try and move that back into position. There we are. That should be okay. Alright, let's get, and that's what we're doing. So, in a couple of weeks now, I'm off to Spain with Yali's family. So we always spend some time with them in the summer, and that's what I'm doing now, is sort of building up. So we've got different items available in the workshop, so different things that we've got for sale. Ready for when we're back in September, and also then keeping plenty of things you know, for the workshop while we're away. So that's the plan. everybody, hope all is well, and hello Denny as well. Thank you all for joining us. As you can see, we're just making a simple little Ashley keyring design out of ash, and that's what we've been demonstrating, just making all sorts of simple little ideas and themes to fill up the workshop. And there we go. One of our favourite little designs. Here we go. Right. So we're going to change cameras, just like so. I'm going to change the audio as well. There we go. So that you can have a little look. I haven't miraculously changed my jumper and gone the other side. I can have a little rest. Thomas the Woodcarver's demonstrating carving Casteth, Cork, the farmhouse where you were born. That's right, isn't it?
Just above the farmhouse that I was born in.
Yeah, just above where you were born. So Thomas the Woodcarver's doing a little bit of carving for you all to see. How many times do you reckon we carved Castle Cork? Probably about a dozen?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice little carving to do, isn't it, the castles and things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an interesting little bit here actually, because when you're carving something like this,
Yeah.
for anybody that that's got into carving and they're having difficulty, it's a good example here of the three, what I always call the 3 stages of carving.
Yeah.
The first one where you draw it out and you're all excited, ready to go.
Yeah.
And then the second stage where this is the second stage now, where we're carving in and we're getting it deeper, but it's getting a little bit sort of slow progress. And so the third stage is when you actually start to put all the details in and finish. But the interesting thing here, to encourage me, you can see the shavings, look, at the bottom. So if I move it about, you can actually see, look, the shavings, and it is quite encouraging to see that, because you know then that you've been doing something, you know what I mean?
You're making progress.
Yeah, those little shavings, I'll blow them away, like so.
Well, the challenging part as well with a carving like that one there is there's a lot of levels to it, isn't there? Because you've got that little sort of walkway to the castle.
That's right.
Then you've
These
got
are the steps up to the main part.
And then you've got that little bit that sort of sticks out above it.
Yeah, and you're pushing everything down in the right order. That's
so
the main.
You're trying to get all the different dynamics of the carving together. It's always a little bit of a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
To sort of get those things right.
But you know that it's going to be a slow process.
Yeah.
And the only encouraging thing you've got on this part then we've got I mean, I'm copying another spoon that I've done with the castle on, and
we did one. The last one we did with Casteth Cork, Castle Cork on. It ended up going out to America. Do you remember that?
oh right.
Yeah.
But of course, but for anybody wondering, Castle Cork, it's the red castle.
Yeah.
That's what it
On the background,
translates to.
it was built by Lord Butes, and it was going to be a present for his wife, but she didn't like it, so it ended up as his hunting lodge.
But they do say that it was built on some ruins of a previous
castle. A
you
lot.
know.
Well, that happens a lot, doesn't it? With I know Carew Castle. What you see of Carew Castle now is a more modern incarnation.
What I'm having to do here is I'm pushing that section that I'm covering with the chisel. That is the section that's furthest away. So, you know, that's why I'm pushing that back down.
Hoshi likes your voice. Nice change from mine.
Ah.
Here we are. So as you're going through, all good for explaining it as you go.
Yeah, it's
So what you're doing there, you're doing the stop cuts, yeah?
yeah.
And the wood, what wood are you working in?
I wish I knew.
Let's have a closer look.
I should say, everybody, I found a little box of odds and ends, and
we got different spoons.
This was a spoon I found in the off-cut box that hadn't been completed. That is, the piece I'm holding there now is ash. But Dave has asked me what wood the castle is being carved from. And honestly, I really don't know. So the only thing, wow.
I was looking for a second.
Chestnut.
Like ram in.
Chestnut?
Yeah, something like a...
Yeah, it could be chestnut here, looks here.
Yeah, that looks like chestnut.
Yeah, and it feels as hard as oak.
I wanted to turn it round. Is that just an indent? Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
that's all right.
nothing.
That's all right. No, it just worrying me for a second. That was.
Yeah, no,
For
it's.
a moment, that was just worrying me.
No,
That's a bit suspicious.
I don't know whether I've moved out the focus there now, but this
No,
has
that's
been
fine with me.
this has been on in that off-cut box for quite a long time. So
a year or two, I would say.
Oh, and more.
Hang on, I'm losing track of time.
5 years or more, I would say.
Because you lose track of time with
This is
anything.
before COVID and everything.
Yeah.
This is.
Yeah. And that's what happens is that it's not that we haven't made more spoons since then, we've made plenty, but you just keep putting a spoon like that back.
And there's an interesting story about this castle, actually.
Yeah.
Because it goes back, well, I said it goes back hundreds of years, the original site, but at one point, when the castle was built, I may have mentioned it before, there's a long drive up to the entrance of the castle, and it's been used for a number of films, film sets. Anybody out there remembering Alan Ladd, the Black Knight? And this is where, this is the castle that it was actually, he filmed, the Black Knight, going up towards this castle. So that's one little bit of history about it. They've had other films as well, more recently. And the other sort of story my father used to tell me, when my father was, he was born in Tonguinlice, of course, and
Which is the village
that the castle is built, yeah. And of course, on, I think it was an Easter Monday, it would be very popular. People would take a picnic up to the castle and the grounds, and on this particular occasion, this area here that I'm pointing the chisel at had a drawbridge, and of course the drawbridge was down, and somehow the drawbridge, it had a lot of people standing on it, and somehow it collapsed. I wondered if that's ever been, if it was ever documented. It was something that my father used to tell me about, and
could you imagine the health and safety now?
oh yeah. It was an Easter Monday where a lot of people on the drawbridge, and there was a bit of a rumour that he said it definitely wasn't him who actually pulled the pin out.
Oh my goodness. Nothing would surprise me. So what have you got left to do on that carving?
It's just a question of lowering it down and, you know, pushing it back. Do you want to come in this advice now, Dave?
No.
You're okay, you? And then,
I hope you're all enjoying. It's nice to see Thompson Woodcarver. You're seeing, this is what is this? 50? How many years of experience? 50 plus years of experience.
Yeah. And then
carving.
the other little bit of the castle is that there'll be little there's a little pencil mark there, all over there. And what I do then, I would put a little spike like so, and these would be where the sort of like arrow, the slits would have been in the wall, we would just make them with a little point.
Hoshi saying there, the spoon fits so perfect to Wales. The land of castles is going to look awesome. Thank you, Hoshi. Yeah, no, it's one of it's a lovely one to do. We've done a number of different castles. Castles are a popular request, aren't they? Recently, we've done a few with Carew Castle, one of our local castles. We've done one as well with Pembroke Castle, and another with a castle up in the north of England. And if you've never carved a castle before, there we are. It's a good little project to have a go at carving castles, because they come out nicely, don't they? The castles.
I think so.
Wood.
Yeah.
I think wood lends itself. You can do like if you want to create like the stone effect, you can rough it up with the different gouges, leave it a bit of a rough finish.
I'm just checking on the
give that
the
stone
thing that I'm
effect.
copying. So they're 1, 2, 3 on the top. There'll be definitely, these are sort of little turret type arrow type slits, they are, sort of thing. Although saying that, it was never used in a hostile sort of way.
We've mentioned Casteth Cork on a number of occasions because, of course, it's very out of place in Wales.
Yeah.
It's a Germanic style castle.
Bavarian, would you say?
Bavarian, that's the one. Cool, you get very posh here. A Bavarian style castle. Now, whilst Thomas Woodcarver is doing that one, I'm just doing a little bit of sanding. I've managed to lose one of my bits of sandpaper that I was going to use. If you're joining us as well, we're just doing some carving here at the end of this demonstration. We're carving Casteth Cork, the Red Castle. And it's Thomas the Woodcarver's on the bench today, doing some carving for you all to see.
Yeah, it's a strange piece of wood. It's a bit of chestnut, really, that it would have
From
been...
the colour, I wondered if it was a piece of ramming.
Yeah, possibly.
But
Yeah,
I
it
think
does feel like a bit of ramming, but the grain there,
more
not
like
too sure.
chestnut.
Yeah.
And no, the reason, because with ramming, you've always got to be careful. We carve.
Oh
a lot
yeah,
of,
when you polish it.
That's right. What it is, we carve a lot of initials. And with ramming, when you carve the initials on, it can soak into the grain, because what we do, we put shellac on, but then when you put the initials on, when we put initials on, it can go all blotchy. We oil it afterwards, and it can go all blotchy in the wood. Isn't that the there? That's spoon.
Yeah, that's the boy.
So yeah, it's ramming can be a bit of a challenge. Nice enough wood to carve.
The bit that I just carved there, it's like a little lookout tower.
Hoshy was saying, I've read you've 600 castles in Wales. Yeah, that sounds about right. They reckon, I remember reading on social media where they were trying to explain that, but they got it a bit wrong. Because it's basically, Wales, I think, has got the most castles per square mile in the world. I think that's what one of the things that they sort of state.
Right.
Is that, you know, and it's basically, when you go back to it, see, it's because us Welsh kept the English crown busy.
Another little story about
control.
this bit here. The part there was obviously red.
Yeah.
And this front was like a little lookout area.
That's it.
And I remember in the
like
60s, it would have been, no, the 50s actually. I remember going into the castle, and this particular part was quite dangerous.
Yeah.
Because, you know, at different times, castles, well, I mean, they still are. Cork Castle is left, it's quite precarious in places, but that I'm pointing the chisel at there, that was quite sort of scary, that you'd step out on a wooden, it would be about 3 feet coming out, about a metre, and you would step on like a little lookout place there, but you could see that the wood was pretty dodgy, rotten.
Absolutely.
And then of course I think somebody like Cadw, one of the organisations, got a hold of it, and they started to make it look a little bit more, well, they used to renovate it in different places, and it has been inside it is quite sort of interesting.
Do you know, I had an interesting conversation with somebody who was in the workshop, and I think they thought that all the castles in Wales had been sort of rebuilt. So, you know, I think they almost sort of, I don't know whether they thought it was like a film set or something, because, you know, they were saying, they said, oh, they've done a good job of rebuilding the castle. They were talking about places like Pembroke and Carew. And I just agreed with them, but no, it was more to do with the fact that they did a good job building them in the first place.
Yeah.
And they've survived, although it's a bit of a ruin.
But again, anybody sort of starting off, and even people that are experienced in it, this is the stage now where you begin to think, why on earth did I start this blinking job?
Yeah.
Because other things could be a lot easier, you know.
Well, you've just seen me doing some, you know, sort of simple, quick items. You know, things like the
there now,
keyrings.
I've carved that little bit there, and now that portion there, if you could bear in mind now that I'm going to push that down even further, because of course, when you, these are the sort of steps on this side. This is the entrance, so you'd have like a little walkway up to the entrance here, and then of course when you get inside there's a courtyard, so it's the castle is in like a circle and you can sort of walk right round. So that back turret is what I say, it's the back turret, because I now take this out because this has to be lower than any other part that we look at. So we go down here. I'm just going to reposition this camera ever so slightly. There we go, that goes back down there.
You'll see there, with Hoshy indeed. If you like castles, Wales is definitely worth a visit.
Oh, and this
plenty.
one is quite an interesting one.
We got plenty castles. It's taking shape.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Good.
Anybody who hasn't seen it before as well, it'd be worth putting it in. put in Casteth Cork or Castle Cork, and put it in on Google. Have a little look at the castle.
If you show everybody the books, Dave, on the castles. Right,
but I'm thinking they get a photo online. You'll get a photo.
Yeah, but if you show them the books, there's an interesting story about Wales, and you know this will be a personal. It won't be a complete rant, because Dave gets very nervous if I get a rant on.
Oh, I'm not bothered.
That's the first one.
They cancelled me for good last week.
If you pass me the other two books, Dave, please. That's the first picture of the little castle there, and this is a book my wife wrote when she retired from teaching, and this is Kedrig, and that story is there's 4 short stories on surrounded by Castle Cork. This is the next one, Tolsham's Dream, and you can see this time it's a more sort of realistic view of the castle. And then we have, this was the last book that we did on the castle, and the stories are all based around Castle Cork, because of course I was born in the farm just beneath the castle. The reason I show you those books is because we have an organisation called CADU. Well, tell me, what is CADU all about, Dave?
Well, CADU, they look after, you know, a lot of the older buildings, property. It's all to do with heritage and things like that, CADU organisation.
Right. Well,
preserving heritage.
Yeah. So
looking after historical buildings.
This is the sort of thing we are up against in Wales. How you have to be so persistent and work against the system that is there to encourage people to preserve a castle and to preserve our heritage. So you would imagine now a book like that is about the surrounding area of Castle Cork. You would assume that taking your book to the organisation that look after this castle, they would be delighted that a teacher of 35, 40 years teaching children had written this book for children. You would think that the organisation would be absolutely delighted to promote that book and put it on sale in the castle. Wales doesn't work like that. Bit like the Lovespoon. We took the book to the castle, and of course you have to go through, what was the organisation?
CADU.
CADU. You have to go through CADU, which would take at least 6 months to have permission to put the book in the castle. I understand that, you know, you can't just have any Tom, Dick and Harry putting the books in the castle with CADU. I understand a lot of books being written. We have the Welsh Books Council, but it's sort of ironic that we couldn't get the book in the castle after it had been written, because there are stories all around the castle. There's the blue waters, for instance. What are the blue waters in this area? They were from the what did they used to
iron smelting, wasn't it?
Yeah, iron smelting down the Melangriffy. My grandfather, my father, they all worked in the Melangriffy, in the iron works, and the tin works down there. And one of the smelting materials they obtained from the grounds of the castle. What was the smelting stuff that we got? The black
Hematite.
hematite. That's right. Hematite was used, and you now see it in jewelry making, for instance. But that was around the castle, and part of the story we tell people how the blue waters, you know, as children, it was an area of fascination. You would go there and you know, you'd skim a stone and all this kind of thing on the blue waters, and it was just magical. But of course, the typical of somewhere like, did I say Cadu? Did I say
Cadu.
Cadu. Typical of those people.
Hoshi likes the cover there.
They, you know, they weren't sort of helpful at all in not even stocking the book and encouraging you to sort of write about just one of their castles.
So back to the carving. How far off do you think you are? I don't think you're far off with that.
Well, I'd say we're halfway.
You reckon you're halfway?
Yeah, we're halfway.
Well, I think for the live stream, that'll do us for today.
There we are then. Great stuff.
The one thing I did promise last week, here we are. The one thing I did promise I will bring through.
Oh, he's off now.
Working on that one there. Here we are. I promised to show everybody
Oh yeah,
that one there.
beautiful.
There we go. I just checked that that's all in on the camera. So to finish off,
Well, can I show them the castle when it's finished as well? That one there, look.
what we do then, because you
Yeah.
can't quite see that,
Can't quite see it?
let's turn it round sort of. Oh, that's the full length. That's the full length of it.
And there's
I tell you what we're gonna have to do. Here we are.
two doves.
You
and
hold the two different pieces up, and I'll do the camera work.
Okay.
Here we are. So let's have a little look. Bear with me. We got that one there. So let's have a little look. Right. So that's the clock. You can see like so. That's our Celtic clock held by Thomas the Woodcarver. What I will do is I'll just zoom in so you can see that's the
And the wood is teak.
doves. Piece of teak, and that's our swans. And you can see that's the full spoon from bottom to top.
Okay.
Yeah, and swap it over.
Can I put that one down and bring this one out?
Bring that one in for everyone to see.
There we are.
And
So the carving that I'm working
that
on-
Thomas the Woodcarver is working on is to carve that one there, which is Casteth, Cork. So you can see a little bit more work on the one that he's been doing. Get all the
Wait,
detail.
if I take it out, put it alongside now.
There we are, we got the two.
You can see.
So you see that is that. Oh, there we are. Perfect. So you're not far off then. That's
And
the
then
two
also
carvings.
beneath the castle, it's got a bit ironic. It's got a number 10 and a row of terraced houses, because that's where my parents.
Because you grew up in 10 Table Street.
Yeah, and a lot of the cottages were terrace cottages, and often were mining cottages. Although that wasn't specifically a mining cottage, not college, a mining cottage, they would call it. But that's the kind of thing that you would you will see in Wales.
There we are. Thank you again for joining us. Hopefully it's been interesting to see the different things that we're working on, the different things that we're making, the different projects. Paul, hello Paul, hope all is well. Paul says beautiful, thank you Paul. And Hoshi the same. Yeah, hope you've enjoyed, hope you all have a great week as well. All going well, we will be back again next week with another live stream. Let's just look. You can just see Thomas the Woodcarver is just doing a bit of carving to see us out there. Yeah, any questions if you're watching it on the playback, any thoughts, feel free to ask us. But thanks for joining us. Well, super. Thanks, guys. Oh, thank you, Hoshi. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, we hope you all have a great week. Thanks again.